All right, so I want to speak about something so near and dear to my heart out here. So, just thinking about manifestations, bringing things into fruition, making thoughts and dreams or fantasies reality, or realizing that they're already there. You know, I the way I learned was different from everyone else. I'll say that. Um, Ever since I was younger, as a child, I was very inquisitive. I always had questions that I never held back. I would always ask. All right. Even when I was a child, my mother would make us, me and my brother and my sister would make us read the Bible before we can go to bed. And she would always ask us questions and she wanted us to be able to answer them. But I always had questions about her questions. I always had questions about what we were reading. And that always stuck with me because I felt as though I felt the stories. Right? Even to this day, I watch movies, but I only want to watch a movie that I feel as though it could have actually happened. Right? I like fantasy, action, stuff like that, right? So I would always formulate my questions aloud. Even like now, you see me walking. I could be by myself and I would always just ask questions out loud because I knew something was there, right? Because ever since I was a child, I saw things, I heard things, I experienced things that most people didn't believe when I would tell them. When I was a child, right? A child. A lot of people didn't believe it. But so even now to this day, when you look at manifestations, there's a lot of different ways that people go about doing it. You know, you write it down, you read over it, affirmations and, you think about it or multiple different ways. You got to go through every one. You guys know. But I was always different. The way I learned was different. The way I came about things were different. I asked questions aloud, and a lot of my responses were aloud. Audible, I would hear responses a lot of the times. Or I would see responses, like I was watching TV. And a lot of my friends would see me doing this or just staring off into what seemed to be nowhere. And they were trying to figure out what was wrong, and I couldn't hear them screaming at me in my face until what I was seeing or watching stopped. And, I've always had foresight, visions. Intuition has always been high. So, for me, and a lot of people have thought that I was being disrespectful, but I try to come at people with the utmost respect. But when you're different, you're different. A lot of people call it weird, and I accept being weird because it just means I'm not a robot, I'm not a clone, I don't follow suit. I'm different. So, the way I came about manifestations was just being out in the open, in nature, asking questions, and trying it on my own, but being guided by energies that I would speak to or hear. Like audible conversations, making choices, and then I would hear, you made your choice. And I'm like, well, who am I talking to? and then something would happen immediately after, right? So this is how life has always been for me. So me bringing things into fruition or bringing things into reality, a lot of people would doubt me simply because I'm walking right now and I don't have a vehicle. But my concept, my reason, because I can afford one. It's just the moment, being in nature, me just walking around, I see people that I haven't seen in a while, and I get the opportunity to stop and speak, or touch a tree, hear the birds sing, feel the wind blowing, feel the sun on my face, see the stars, the moon, the experience of it. I know I wouldn't get in a vehicle. Now, I used to have vehicles, always riding around, but I would always take a moment to not be in that vehicle, always. So, with the manifestations, to me, reading and being in multiple different religious sects, systems, which I have been, studying different cultures, which I have, to me, personally, I gain from each and every one, purposely. And what I've noticed is, regardless of which one or your way of life, everything is a thought first. But before it's even a thought, right? All right. So, say this to somebody recently. It's literally only one sense. You know, you have people say you got the 5 senses or more. It's really only one. It's touch. Light touches your cornea. Sound touches your eardrum. Flavors touch your taste buds. You know, things of that nature. So there's literally only one sense, which is the sense of touch. Even with the brain, if you touch anything, it's not you that feels it, it's the nerves sending that signal to your brain, chasing up the spinal cord through your nervous system, and your brain is telling you, oh, that's hot. So touch, brain, all right? So for me, the thought of anything first, the touch of anything, I wanted to touch. My mom had told me one time, she said, you're going to get confused reading all these books. I said, I refuse to get to that last day, and I'm standing in the wrong line. Right? Felt the wind blow. That's in my direction. So confirmation. Or, you know, I'm in my flow. I'm in my lane. Right? So I continuously, I read everything. Anything I can get my hands on. Right? Try to teach myself how to write different languages, which I did in some. I continued to study, to be not the best at whatever I was in, but to learn and to know, to be wise, because it was something I always desired to become, and it was greater than I was, or greater than my current aspects or life that I was in whatever moment I was in. So, manifesting to me is completely different. I always saw it as easy. Yet at the same time, everyone is different. And at the same time, everything has its moment. And at the same time, I've learned not to do things that you shouldn't just because you can. which is some things that I've done in my past because I knew I could make it rain, which I've done, cause the wind to blow at a certain moment in a certain direction and let others experience. I taught people how to astro travel without being taught how to astro travel. I taught people how to do it, and it was just something that I did naturally. Just wanting to, people look at, oh, he bragging. I'm just sharing. But if you want to look at it as bragging, okay. But I just want to get you and speak to you about it because anybody can do it this way. But we're so focused on what we've been taught to do and how to do. Just because it worked for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work like that for you. You know? There's more than one truth. So the argument about what's right, what's wrong, I don't even believe it. Right and wrong. Everything has its moment, regardless of the moment. That's my view. That's my standpoint. That's how I live. That's what I found out through my moments in this life, in this universe, on this planet, in this experience that we all have. So knowing that everyone's is going to be different, and it has to be. So the things that others have gone through, I'm not even supposed to, because others have gone through it. Vice versa. So in love, I always want to share, speak, help, teach at any possible moment, at any given moment. And the moment is given whenever you choose to accept it. You can turn it down, and it's going to come right back around. So, manifesting or bringing things into existence that you aren't currently experiencing, they're already there. And a lot of people will say, well, you gotta get on that same vibration. But you have a vibration. Whatever it is you're looking for is looking for you, so it's actually the exact same vibration. It's not something you have to get on. It's just something you have to resonate with. And it's not something, what I've learned, it's not something that you consistently push on. You let it be known, you leave it alone. The more you press on it, the more you push that button, and the more of a signal of desperation. Hawk. It's always this way. So I just see the hawk, it's normally around golden, red tail, either falcons. So my thing is, your experience is yours. However you choose to bring anything into existence, know that you can, in any manner, in any way. Everybody is different. I'm just speaking on my behalf of my experience for encouragement, for the sake of love, the sake of sharing, for experience. We're all connected. Like, I got into quantum science and quantum theory some years back, string theory, things of that nature, and we're all connected. So the more that we share these things, our experiences with one another, the more we grow. So don't take it as me boasting or bragging or trying to put myself here or anything of that nature. I'm just here to help in multiple ways. You can accept it or you can turn it down. It's completely your choice. I just want to speak to you for a moment while I'm out. Breathing in this cosmic air. You're literally in outer space right now. Regardless of how you look at it, you're on a planet that's in outer space, caught in a star's gravitational pull. To me, that's amazing. But everybody doesn't see it that way. But just wanted to share. Say thank you to every energy who's with me, who's always been with me, who shared with me in every way. You know, from the deepest depths of darkness to the highest heights of all lights. Everything is a lesson. Everything is for you. Still around. Appreciate you. Took me all the way to the house. All right. So enjoy every moment. Love every moment. Don't squander it. Just be in it. You're in it for a moment. You're in it for a reason. Just notice it, recognize it, make the best of it. All right. As always,